Hey YouTube, we're back. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we're doing a preview. So NADGT is coming up this weekend here at Red Mountain South. It's a different layout, so we're starting here on hole 2, 450-foot par 4. 2 ways to play it. You've got the first option. I'm just gonna go rally. It's gonna be a little stable, but it's a little flip up straight. If you could see the sign right at that with a little fade, it's gonna land just right of the sign, but that's up top. So you want like a 300, probably like 280 or 300 foot shot to stay short. They open up a lot of the stuff here on the right, and then you can go big ripper over it as well. All right, so those are a couple of plays. So the landing zone is kind of down in here. You can tell they cleaned it up. Here's where I am, a little closer to the road and out of light. It's gonna go sidearm here, just kind of flex something. Okay, little skip, cool. Just outside circle's edge, not my best, but got a putt for birdie. You get on this other side, this is about 400 feet off the tee, about all I got, but this is what it looks like. So air is gonna be to the right, you've got plenty of room, you've got some guardian, you know, kind of style trees around the road. Road and OB's all typically out of bounds, but got about 120 from here. And this tree kind of protects the basket. I've seen people go high up into the trees and kind of let it knock down. It's kind of, you know, bold here. You've got maybe 30 feet that way, and then like 50 feet here. So it's generous enough, but it's nervy enough to, you know, definitely get your attention, but that's the birdie. Twice starts luck. That is hole 2 in the typical layout, but that'll be hole 1 for the NADGT event. This is gonna be the second hole of the event. You got the basket right about here, a little bit of an awkward tee. This hole plays 340 on the card. A couple different ways to attack it. You can go sidearm if you got a big sidearm, or you know, you can throw just the straight shot, you know, maybe a mid-range or, you know, drive or something that's gonna go straight, whatever you think. I'm gonna go Supra. This is my typical play. Cranked it over. So not gonna be birdie, but it'll be fine. No real trouble. Kind of rushed it because of the bust, but I'm also just bad. And there's a sidearm play. Yeah, I didn't hit it enough, but that's gonna be like circle 2, just short. So another option, going from player B. You know, again, kind of wide open. There's some bushes, so you gotta make sure height's good. You can't really swing it right because of that tree. There's a couple bushes here for the sidearm, so just got to get a little bit lucky to get there actually parked, but it should be one you're thinking about getting. Little right. That looks better. Oh, hey-oh. Teeing off from like right over here. Your first hole's basket. It's right over here. So again, these are some of the bushes that you have to beat if you're going sidearm and you're going to skip it in. But again, fairly generous. This will be your third hole here. 327 feet on U-disc. I'm going to go flip up fairway. This is my rally. All right, so it's crashing now. Okay, that might be decent. You'll see that some people go for a little bit of a faster rim. So I'm going Daytona here. And I just try and kind of spike this one over. Issue, as you'll see, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, but the issue is it's a little bit of a narrow landing. The other thing you'll see people do sometimes is throw mid-range to just help control the skip. Little right, but you'll see what I'm talking about when we get up there. It's actually pretty good there for me, really good for me, honestly. So you'll see that mid-range that I threw here, getting pin high. That's the rally parked, and then that's the Daytona, pretty parked as well. Just a little bit narrow. Again, nothing too crazy. It's generous enough, but skips are going to land you over here in these bushes. If you don't, you know, again, have the height right, you're gonna get hung up here, and it's really hard to make birdie from down in there, but really good for me. Hole 4 in the tournament, 348 is what it says here. Plays a little bit further than that. And I'm gonna go hard fairway here. The miss is long. This tends to be right. It kind of lands 3/4 of the way up that hill and kind of skips up to the basket. Let's see if I can do it. I'm here. That rally's getting a little bit beat in. The other play is to go, you know, for me again, go up in disc and then just go a little bit wider and on hyzer. Oh, needed like another 5 feet, but that stable disc is a little more beat in. This is gonna be one of those holes that I think in practice, or if you get a chance to get out here before the tournament, is to come just throw a couple shots, see what feels good from a distance perspective. Again, the miss is long, these rocks play as OB, so it's kind of like a guaranteed bogey if you don't make it. Probably not gonna be a billion birdies made out here, but you're definitely gonna be giving up shots if you make bogey here. There's a layup short, which you could do, kind of secures par. My personal opinion, again, as long as you can throw it over 300, that if you are gonna go for par, just throw it wider, throw something that's for sure gonna flip up. Kind of didn't get away with it with the second one, but that would be the advice. I think it's a lot easier to make par from up here on top than it is from, down here below. Things can still get a little squirrely, and certainly not my best. However, par doesn't like lose me the tournament on this hole. Slide something up there and take your par. Here's a look back from the tee. Spin you around here a little bit. So here's what's long. This all plays OB typically, obviously all the rocks, but long, again, I'm probably 350, 360 off the tee. That's right of the basket. This is long. Again, this is the miss, is to throw something a little bit long. The one thing that you do want to be cautious of though is down in here. So my second landed here. Now this line all plays OB. So you really want to, again, have eyes on your shots, even if you think you throw a bad one. Going way back there, having an 80 footer, or if you have something that skips in out here, again, you take your meter, it is a par. So that's why I say wide and disc up is the play if you're playing for par, because I think trying to throw it short, you slide it in the rocks, or, again, you got this uphill shot, maybe you hit the basket and it rolls back, or maybe you throw it a little bit long and you're behind that bush. So again, I say air high and wide, and if it does happen to skips OB, you're still a circle one putt for your par. Hole 5, you're gonna see a couple different plays. You got 235 feet, basket's just right down this fairway here. I'm gonna go just nomad straight. Again, that'll slide right up there. That's pretty good. Another option you'll see is something, this is a pyro. You can go like Raptor or something like that too, or whatever you like on forehand, but it's only 235, but up and over this tree. That's a pretty good option. And then last, something I used to throw quite a bit is just up over this tree here and just let something crash. So something that's kind of stable, let the height stall it. Rally's getting a little bit more beat up, but that'll be backside like 35 footer. As you all know, there's a million ways to get to a disc golf basket. Skip it, slide it, spike it, you do all the things. This is what I see, when I play with friends and, competitors out here in other events. Like, these are the lines I see them taking. So that's just really what I'm sharing with y'all. Definitely don't have all good answers or all good lines cornered. So definitely be creative when you get out here. This is still looking at the basket. Got pyro over here, got the rally up over here. This is the first one. And kind of conservative, but circle's edge. Yo. Here it is. Oh my, I talked to it, that's my bad. And here's a look from behind the basket. So again, lots of airspace up over here, lots of airspace up over there too. So you definitely have options. If you're new to the page, please like and subscribe. We are doing a giveaway at 1,000 subs. We're about halfway, so we're plugging right along. The giveaway is going to be a dynamic disc recruit basket. Put that in your backyard, do what you want to do there. Winter putting practice if we can hit this pretty soon. Appreciate you stopping by, checking me out. Consider subscribing. So again, some trees guarding the spike hyzer on the forehand or the big turnover, and then same here, right hand, backhand, stopping the spike hyzer. Par 4, 604 foot par 4. This is a landing area. So again, you have this tree that's about 325 feet off the tee, and you have everything open. Again, just some kind of pot bushes here in the fairway that are going to cause some bad footing. Again, it's pretty generous, but you do have some things that you need to get lucky on. I threw my shot over here, and so again, we're going to see if we got lucky. I did get lucky. See my orange disc sitting here, but again, really a little bit of a better pump. You get it out here like 400 feet. another fairway opens up over here as well. So it's kind of split fairway with a little ravine running through the middle. Okay, move my disc out. Again, par 4. I don't need to see me scrambling. But the basket is right here. We are exactly 350 feet off the tee. Leaves us 250 foot into the basket. I want to kind of clean my form up. So again, another series y'all should be looking at, you know, again, if you're going to stick with my channel. From this distance, I really should be reaching for a putter. In this case, this is a Watt. And I should be able to just float this thing in there. More Anheuser, just like the Watt's not going to fight back. I'm going to try another one here, just tempo, kind of like a zone-ish disc. Yeah, that's just in the bush, pin high with the basket. You'll see it. See if I make this for birdie. There you go. So I mean, again, this bush is only, again, 7 feet away from the basket. So anything that slides a little bit long is definitely going to be funky, because if you're behind it, the top of the bush is here. So you're going to have to nose down something. Second one landed, yeah, right here. So, you know, again, this should be automatic, 16 footer or so. Pretty good par 4. It feels fair. Again, you can kind of get a little bit unlucky if you skip into one of these bushes, but I like the idea that there is a fairway. There's an entry to the basket. So definitely something where I think you're going to see some birdies. Eagles, I mean, yeah, he needs 600 feet of power, which I know some people do have. It's just not this guy. Hole 7B. So there is a little safari layout. I am standing on the tee box now, but again, right here, there is a little cutout. So I'm assuming we're playing from there. But this is 361 feet from the middle of the tee box on U-disc. So I'm gonna go Era 360 and throw it, you know, some conviction. I believe that the fairway, I mean, again, this obviously looks like the fairway where you're supposed to be throwing it through. And then there's a telephone pole right there. So if you're here, looks like a wooden telephone pole. My eyesight's not great, so don't roast me. But I'm gonna try and throw it there. I'm gonna try and throw it 360 feet, but that's the reference point here for the video. Okay, so kind of crashed right in front of that tree, you know, pretty much on that pole is where it finished. I'm not playing this year, which is a bummer, and not really a bummer. I've got, you know, Sun Soccer, which definitely what I'm gonna choose to be at regardless, but bummer in the fact that NADGT puts on great events. Played in this last year, absolutely loved it. So anybody playing, really gonna love it. And just huge shout out to the staff. You know, again, I know that they're gonna do a great job this year. And then also, just what this course is, I really enjoy the effort. You know, again, the P and Arizona Disc Golf Association, everybody that contributes out here, I like what they're doing. I have fun. This is my home course, and super grateful for everybody who puts in a lot of effort out here. So thanks. Quick reference from the tee. I threw off from right in between that gap there. Here's where that gray Era landed, and I am right on where U-disc is calling the basket. I do see a rock, seems a little bit out of place here. So I'm assuming that's where the basket is, and this gives us the most fair, you know, kind of circle, if you will. So really good hole. You know, again, when I stand there, this is calling it more like 380. So again, I was a little bit short, but you're gonna see guardian tree here, entry point for a right-handed backhand will be here, lefty backhand up over here. Yeah, I mean, see, this is a hole, and again, what I was just saying about Pete and, you know, everybody who contributes out here doing a really good job, and maybe this is an NADGT thing, but this is fun. And if you look, like, most of this real estate out here used to be the old Red Mountain North, and since the renovations and the soccer field's going in over here, you see all the stadium lights, there's still a lot of opportunity, and I do hear that there's some potential for some additional holes going in back here, but this is just a great example of what I was talking about, and really appreciate everybody who puts in the effort. All right, so basket right back over here. Just walk towards those power lines that, you know, again, we were throwing out to start, stay on that direction of the hole. And you're gonna find yourself on the 8th hole, which is also your 8th hole of the tournament, so we'll be back on track here from a hole perspective. We made it back on track, hole 8. This hole is 390. You're gonna have a guardian tree like up over here. Max distance, people that have bigger arms are gonna be able to throw different discs, but for me, It's kind of like a flip up to flat and push, and then, you know, hopefully land pretty straight. Birdie's a bonus for me, you know, when I play, but definitely in the cards if you can kind of pump one. Don't hate it yet. So that's a strike. So again, as people know that strikes are fairly touchy. It's a relativity from MVP. I like the flight of the strike. They're just kind of hard to find ones that have some integrity to fight back. MVP seems to be a little bit more on like the stable side, especially just because they're so flat, I think maybe. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Yeah, that flew great. Definitely hit a better line, but that looked like it just had a little bit more stability to fight. I'd be curious to see how far each of those went, because those were, again, if I had to rate those would be like A- throws. Like, those are pretty happy with those. I'm gonna do a quick score update. I'm not throwing it great and not putting great either, but I'm 1 under through 7 holes. You know, again, so I'd say for me, like, I think I've shot 7 under here as at a tournament. I end up playing really good on the back. I feel like at this course, most of your work should be done early, so I'd say I'm a little bit behind pace, but you know, again, not playing the tournament. I really don't have any pressure either. But again, just kind of giving you some reference if you're watching along, kind of like, hey, where's this guy at through 7 holes? 1 under par. Both those discs flew pretty good when we get all the way up here though. So quick view from behind the basket. So there's that tree that I was referencing. Actually have one of my discs right there. That's the strike. And then relativity about there. Yep. So again, pretty good through from back over here. So again, it's a pretty straight hole. Got a little bit of trouble here for left-handed hyzers, a little bit of trouble here for right-handed hyzers, but I think primarily distance will be the main thing when it comes to, you know, the folks that have birdie ops and the ones that don't. It's inside circle 1. People who win the tournament will be making these. It's kind of what I always like to think. Best putt of the day for sure. Twice Hearts luck. Yeah. Hey, I made one. Made 2. Hole 9, 250. It's gonna be the last hole in this video, so definitely look out for the back 9. Couple of different options here, so I'm gonna throw a few. Typical play is overstable distance driver. So this is the Daytona finish line. I'm gonna stall it out in the gap here and then just let it crash behind that tree. Little inside. If it misses the tree, and it didn't, if it sometimes it kind of knives through there, and then it's really, really cool. Another play, kind of like flippy mid-range. Throw it right at that second tree, flex it through there, and then let it kind of S in. Executed it. That's got chain ambitions. Oh my, I might hit the pole. There is a kind of gap up over here. So people will kind of flex something over. I'm gonna go pyro, stable mid-range. Not enough flex, but kind of clip the backside of the tree. Gonna be pretty similar to the first one. Not horrible. Oh, almost forgot. I've seen some people go up and over here. Rotator cuff is not built like that. Here's the look from behind the basket. So again, that's the airspace I'm looking to kind of stall and crash something in. This is the middle gap we threw from back in there, and then that's a over the top kind of flex line. So there's a flippy mid-range, definitely AMIs. The stable mid-range is right there. So again, like just outside circle, and then this one hit this tree. Again, sometimes it fights through, and then I'm where the detour is, it kind of hit and stopped. But again, for an early release, kind of a straddle C1 edge putt. Hey, Twice Hearts luck. Bingo. Probably can't see me, but let's see the Daytona putt. Buckets. Pyro mid-walk. Buckets. Lefty detour. Buckets. That's gonna do it. Thank you again so much for checking us out. I ended up 3 under. I made 2 birdies there to finish. 9 I like to get, 8 I don't typically get. So again, thanks so much. Please consider liking, subscribing, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for part 2. See you in the next one.